Hey there, welcome to this interactive writing lesson. Today we are going to be focusing on the editing stage of the writing process. You just finished writing your essay or paper. Now we are going to be getting ready to trade our papers with a friend to edit and proofread each other's work. We cannot possibly catch every mistake that we make in our own writing, and that's okay. Having a friend to help is great because they are a new set of eyes for your paper and may be able to catch mistakes that you didn't. Before we can edit our friends' papers, we need to know how to do it. When we read and edit a paper, it's called proofreading. When we proofread, we use special symbols that mean different things. When there is something in writing that needs to be fixed, there's a symbol you can write on the paper to tell the writer that that's what they need to fix. Let's look at some of these marks and do some practice with them. Here are the proofreading marks that we will use to edit writing. You also have a paper copy of these marks to keep in your folder, and there's a copy of this poster in the classroom. Let's go through these marks. The first mark we see is 3 lines. This means that we need to capitalize whatever letter this symbol is underneath. So in this example, they fished in Lake Tahoe. This symbol is under the L and the T, meaning that the L and T need to be capitalized. They need to be capitalized because Lake Tahoe is a proper noun. When a word needs to be lowercase, we use this slash symbol and we slash through the letter that needs to be lowercase. In this sentence, students and bus are not proper nouns and don't need to be capitalized, so we slash through the S and B, telling the writer that they need to make these 2 letters lowercase. When there's a spelling mistake, we write the letters SP above the word that is misspelled. The day was cloudy and cold. In this sentence, the word cloudy is not spelled correctly, so the editor wrote the letters SP above the word that is misspelled. Every sentence must have punctuation. If it does not, we need to add them. So, when we need to add a period, we use this bullseye symbol. Tomorrow is a holiday is a great sentence, but they need a period at the end, so the editor used this symbol. When we need to delete or remove a word or letter, we use this symbol. In this case, Kim knew the answer is a great sentence, but she used the word the twice. So the editor used this symbol and took out the second the. When we need to add a word, we use this caret symbol. And we write the word above the symbol. So, 6 were in the litter. Doesn't make much sense because we don't know 6 what. So, we add the caret and we write the word pups above because that's the word that needs to go in. So now the sentence reads 6 pups were in the litter, and that makes much more sense. When we need to add a comma, we use this symbol, so it's the caret again with the comma underneath. You'll see this most of the time when there's a list of things in writing. So, for example, he ate peas, corn, and squash is a great sentence, but we need to make commas in between each part of that list. So now it needs to be he ate peas, comma, corn, comma, and squash. When we reverse words or letters, we use this symbol and we encase whatever needs to be switched in each part of this. So an otter swam in the bed kelp doesn't make much sense, but when we use this symbol, that means we need to reverse those 2 words and the sentence will make more sense. Now the sentence will say an otter swam in the kelp bed. When we add an apostrophe, we use an upside down caret with an apostrophe inside. The child's bike was red is great, but we need to know that the bike actually belongs to this child, so we add an apostrophe in the word child's. When we add quotation marks, we also use an upside down caret with quotation marks inside. Why can't I go, she cried is great, but we need quotations to know exactly what she said. Remember, you do one at the beginning of the phrase and one at the end of the phrase. When we need to make a space, we use a hashtag. This sentence, he read 2 books, is awesome, but 2 books needs to be 2 separate words. There needs to be a space right here, so we put the hashtag above. When we close the space between 2 words, we use this symbol. We put 1 arch above and 1 arch below the 2 words or letters that needs to be closed. Her favorite game is softball. Softball is really 1 word, so we do an arch above soft and ball and below soft and ball to close that space between. The last symbol we'll use is to begin a new paragraph. It looks like a backwards P with a line through it. We had fun. Next we went to is great. But when we say next, that means we're starting a new idea, which means it can be a new paragraph. So we add this paragraph symbol right after this first sentence to show that they need to start this sentence as a new paragraph. Okay, so now we have learned all of the proofreading marks. I put them off to the side of the screen still so that you can use them as we go through this example paper. We're going to read and proofread this paper together, and then you'll be ready to proofread a friend's essay on your own. First, let's read the paper together. What is the most popular sports event of the year in the United States? It's the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the championship game of the National Football League, NFL. The first game was in 1966 when the Green Bay Packers played the Kansas City Chiefs. In case you are wondering, the Packers won. Not everyone loves to watch football. Some people watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials. Others love the halftime show because of the popular music performance. Many people enjoy the snacks too. On this day, more food is eaten than any other day during the year, except for Thanksgiving. So, as I was reading, you probably noticed a couple things that need to be fixed. But we need to take a closer look to make sure that we get everything. So let's start at the beginning. What is the most popular sports event of the year in the United States? Let's look at the first word. We always begin a sentence with what kind of letter? Capital or lowercase? That's right, a capital. So we need to make this word capitalized. To do that, we use the 3-line symbol. Now, when we say what is, that's kind of like repeating the word is twice because the word what is a contraction that means what is. So it's kind of like saying what is the most popular sports event. So instead of using what is, we can just take out this second is using this symbol, and now the sentence makes a lot more sense. What's the most popular sports event of the year in the United States? United States. That's the name of a country, so it's a proper noun. And what do we do with proper nouns? That's right, we capitalize them. So we need to use these symbols under the U and S to tell the writer to capitalize them. Now, the last thing in this first sentence is that it's not really a sentence with a period, it's really a question. They're asking, what's the most popular sports event of the year in the United States? So we need to take out this period, and we need to add in with a caret a question mark. Now that first sentence is complete. Let's move on to the next sentence. It's the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the championship game of the National Football League. That's a pretty long sentence. I think we need to separate it into a couple different parts. But let's look at this first word, it's. It's the Super Bowl. This word is meaning it is, so it really needs to be a contraction. So what do you think we need to add to this word to make it a contraction? Yep, we need to add an apostrophe. So we use the upside down caret with the apostrophe in it. It's the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the championship game of the National Football League. When we say Super Bowl twice, this makes it sound like a new idea is starting. So we need to end the sentence right here. And what do we put at the end of every sentence? A period. Correct. Now it's two different ideas. It's the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the championship game of the National Football League, the NFL. The NFL is actually a proper noun. So the words National Football and League need to be capitalized. So those are the symbols we'll use. The first game was in 1966 when the Green Bay Packers played the Kansas City Chiefs. In case you are wondering, the Packers won. That's a very long sentence as well, so we might need to split that up later. The first game was in 1966 when the Green Bay Packers. I think we can add a pause in here somewhere by using a comma. Where do you think we can add that pause? Hopefully you guessed it, it's after 1966. Now the sentence will make more sense. The first game was in 1966, pause, when the Green Bay Packers played the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's take a look down here. Kansas City Chiefs. That's the name of a team in the NFL. So the author did a great job at capitalizing this proper noun. But when we go back up here to Green Bay Packers, they're also a team in the NFL. So they also need to be capitalized. Okay. The first game was in 1966 when the Green Bay Packers played the Kansas City Chiefs. In case you are wondering, the Packers won. That kind of sounds like it needs to be a new idea. So what we can do is add a period after Kansas City Chiefs. Now, since we added a period here, what needs to happen to this word? You guessed it, it needs to be capitalized because every sentence starter, like here and here, needs to be capitalized. In case you are wondering, the Packers won. That looks pretty good. All right, now let's move on to the second paragraph. Not everyone loves to watch football. So here again, we need to capitalize that first letter. Loves is not really a contraction, so we need to take out this apostrophe. What's the symbol that we use to take something out? You got it, the delete symbol. Now, let's look at this. Are there any misspelled words that you can find in this sentence? I spy one, and that word is watch. There's actually a T in the word watch, so we need to add the spelling symbol above this word. Some people watching the Super Bowl just for the commercials. This word right here does not need to be watching. We need to take out the ing. Some people watch the Super Bowl makes a lot more sense. So we're going to take out this ing. Some people watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials. We're not really using the number for, we just need the word for. So here again, we're going to put the spelling symbol. Others love the halftime show because of the popular music performance. This is a great sentence, but there's only one mistake in it. You spotted it, the word music. The word music does not need to be capitalized because it's not a proper noun. Many people enjoy the snacks too. This is a tricky one. It might look okay, but really this word right here is not spelled correctly. We actually need T-O-O instead of T-O. So here again, we're going to put another spelling mark. On this day, more food is eaten than any other day during the year, except for Thanksgiving. This is a good sentence too, but here again, we've seen it up here, and we saw it up here, and we saw it at the very beginning. What does this first letter need to be? Yep, it needs to be capitalized. On this day, more food is eaten than any other day during the year, except for Thanksgiving. Now, there's one more mistake in this paragraph. Can you find it? That's right, Thanksgiving. That's a proper noun and it needs to be capitalized. Now you are done editing and proofreading. Here's what the final copy of this paper would look like after the mistakes are fixed. Great job today! Now you're finally ready to proofread a friend's writing.